2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
DJ, what's up, bro?
Hey, I've been wearing those shoes you got me, man.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate that. Ain't no problem.
Hey, you staying over tonight?
Yeah, we in town.
Hey, look,
what's up?
paparazzi been crazy, bro. You trying to go to this Jamaican spot tonight?
Yeah, just make sure, just hit me after the game as soon as we beat y'all.
Yeah.
Hit me.
You got Joe.
No, just hit me, and I'm all for it. I'm with you.
All right, sounds good, bro.
All right.
Have a good game, bro.
Yep, you too.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
It's an interconference contest here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as the Thunder play one at home. Well, the holidays always bring us some incredible NBA action. And that's certainly what we have in store for us today. With Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will join us from the sidelines. Taking a look at Toronto, an excellent season underway. We've seen a lot of good basketball so far from these guys.
And they've cemented their status over the course of this season as one of the truly elite teams in the NBA. They've done everything we've expected of them.
Boy, Greg, you talk about everything falling into place. They're playing a formidable brand of basketball. Just fine-tuning now in anticipation of the postseason.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge down on the sideline. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Dwayne Casey has been the head coach in Toronto for the better part of a decade now. He said the most rewarding part of coaching has been watching his players grow up. Watching a guy go from never playing in an NBA game before to developing into an all-star player, that's probably the most rewarding thing that you can do as a coach. Now, Kevin, he's helping this team and its players both make the leap forward.
Great stuff, D.A. Coach Casey definitely gets the best out of his guys. You can tell they love playing for him. And Doris, we're in that kind of in-between area. You know, the luster of the season opener has now worn off. Not yet quite to the All-Star break. Crunch time, of course, is still a ways away. How do players go about maintaining that focus here at the midseason?
You know, I think this is interesting. If you're chasing greatness, we hear that expression a lot from LeBron James, I'm chasing greatness. I don't think focus is ever at issue. If you're the Golden State Warriors in the season, you have an opportunity to win 73 games. Focus is never an issue. What's fascinating to me is, can young players sustain attention for the 82-game grind, particularly those rookies? That is the group of players for whom I think it is most difficult.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Anunoby the 3, with Ibaka playing the 4. Lowry and DeRozan are the 1 and the 2. They create so much offense. And it's Valanciunas in at the center position. And here's Westbrook. Serge Ibaka making his last triple. Kicks it to Westbrook. Outside Jordan. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over DeRozan. That's short off the rim. And just about a minute into the first quarter. Screen by Ibaka. Westbrook with the steal. Makes it off the glass. Westbrook's got his first points of the night.
I like to watch Russell Westbrook go to work. This guy on the block, such an efficient scorer.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Now, here's DeRozan. Boy, was he something else against Dallas. Over Jordan. Can't hit that one. Now, Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Yeah, terrific performance. Really synced on both sides of the ball.
Well, especially offensively. The chemistry these guys have is infectious, and it really shows.
Toronto with the ball. It's a three-point game. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And sometimes in that hostile environment.
Oh!
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Westbrook's got his second bucket tonight.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
You're right. I mean, he's found his rhythm early. The defense has got to do a better job guarding him from this point on.
Lowry inside the line. Score of the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
I think in terms of Kyle Lowry's value, it all starts with his jump shooting ability. There's a lot to like, but that might be his bread and butter.
Here's the three. Jordan can't get it to go. Raptors trail by 5.
Come get it. Come get it.
To the left wing. Three-pointer, Lowry. Lowry can't get that one to fall. Thunder have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway.
And in today's game, we're really so used to thinking of passing as the key to an efficient offense. But this Raptors club, they do it a different way. For them, the screen is the assist, giving their guards space to pull up or attack the rim. Two.
First one falls for him. And the Raptors for the last few seasons, Greg, right at the bottom of the league in assists.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they do make good decisions. They're a low turnover team, and they've been pretty efficient offensively. One area where you can offset that is by their ability to get to the free throw line, because that puts a lot of pressure on your defense with their ability to attack.
And so Jordan nails both of them. There's a minute 47 left in the first quarter of the game. Feeds it to Powell. Outside DeRozan. Passes to Siakam. Shot clock at 6. There's a good screen. And Grant sends it back. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. They're on a 10-2 run here. And Roberson kicks to Jordan. He feeds it to Adams. Here's Roberson. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Raptors trail by 7. Outside DeRozan. Rob. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Roberson gets the bucket.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Boy, what great speed he's got, Greg. Just phenomenal work getting all the way to the cup in transition.
And DeRozan kicks to Siakam. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. It's stolen by Adams. Felton against Lowry. The feed to Jordan. 29 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Felton can't get it to go. Raptors trail by 9. Now here's DeRozan, looking for his first basket still in this one. And there's the foul. It goes on Mr. And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. And then for Toronto, Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Jakob Poeltl. Ibaka comes in for Pascal Siakam. And Anunoby subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. Russell Westbrook out there with Jordan. Then there's Grant. Then there's Patrick Patterson. And it's Abrinas in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Pass to Anunoby. Screened by Valanciunas. Here's Anunoby. He's usually able to provide some lift to his team, averaging 6 points a game. Outside Westbrook. Jordan with it. Powell on him. Back to Westbrook. Launches a 3. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Westbrook's got 10.
I love how Westbrook rises and fires immediately. Ball touches his hands and it's gone before you can blink.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Mr. Incredible in their last matchup against the Rockets lit up the floor. He scored 17 points and was effective from long range as well, with a number of threes. It was a wonderful showing for him, and he helped the team snap that losing streak. Can he help them win another one tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
Appreciate it, David. After all the good work he did in that last game, he's got plenty to build on here tonight.
Except that the D is going to be all over him, Kevin. They're aware of what he did last time out, and they're going to be doing everything they can to keep him in check.
Well, and that could be a big positive for them, Greg, because while he's drawing all that attention, a few of his teammates might get a little bit more space to operate.
Here's Powell, drilled from 11 feet out. Powell's got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And stolen by Kyle Lowry. Fast break, Toronto. Over Westbrook. Lowry's shot is good. Lowry's got 5 points in the quarter.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Jordan inside. 17 points for him last game against Houston.
And don't forget the sensational plays he made out there. He saw the court so well, firing perfect passes to teammates for wide open shots.
Screened by Ibaka. And Lowry has it in the corner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ibaka with a screen on Grant. Shot off the screen. Lowry can't get that one to fall.
And whether he's a great off-balance shooter or not, the lean is probably not the best option on that shot.
And so it's Oklahoma City with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting. They've been dialed in so far from the field. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. Dwayne, not the night you want so far. What do you see happening out there?
I don't know what has happened, but our defensive concentration, rotation has gone the way of the Buffalo. And I don't know what it is. I could care less about offense. You know, we're going to score. That's not the problem. It's making up our mind and having a commitment to the defensive end.
Okay, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
And how disruptive was he in that first half? I mean, creating havoc, causing turnovers, and really energizing his team.
Well, didn't you get the sense, Greg, that this entire team fed off his energy? His remarkable effort on the defensive end really triggered this group.
And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Lowry and DeRozan are the 1 and the 2. They create so much offense. Anunoby the 3 with Ibaka playing the 4. And it's Valanciunas in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Doris, you've seen the game from many different angles. If you were a general manager, what would you look for if you were hiring a coach?
You know, it seems to me one of the most important aspects of being a head coach in the NBA, your ability to be a people person, to relate, to pull the strings that motivate different types of players. You know, I look at someone like Steve Kerr, who seems to have such a great feel for the pulse of his team, that seems to understand the players who respond well to sort of him getting in their grill. The other players who maybe need to be pulled aside privately because pride is in play. Listen, everybody has X's and O knowledge as a head coach in the NBA, or they wouldn't be in that position. To me, it's as much about managing egos and minutes and being a good person and invested in those players as it is the X and O's.
Have you ever seen a great coach who wasn't also a great communicator in their own way?
No, I think communication may be the number one skill aside from obviously basketball acumen.
Outside, George. Down low. Here's Jordan. Right through the D for the layup. Jordan's got 10 points in the game.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
I'll tell you got to admire the energy. This guy really wants to put this one away.
And the Thunder making a switch here. McDermott's checked in. Now let's check out the rebounds and where they're coming from. Here's a breakdown showing the front court and the back court rebounding numbers for the Raptors.
And their big men are getting the majority of the rebounds. You like all five guys boxing out and getting on the glass, but at the end of the day, that's their role to control the boards.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, Raptors coach Dwayne Casey talked about the chemistry on his team. He said, "We couldn't be better. There's no ego, no hidden agendas. Guys understand their roles." Kyle Lowry told me, "We're a complete team, 15 deep, and we really mean that. You never know whose time it's going to be." Kevin?
And DA, depth is a crucial part of any team's success. Knowing you can rely on your teammates to step up is huge.
I think you'd have to say this about Coach Dwayne Casey. He is very consistent with his approach. The players know what he expects, and hard work is always at the top of that list.
Pass to Lowry. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
And defensively, great anticipation.
Toronto's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. And here is Powell. The scoring numbers have been solid for him. He's averaging just under 14 points a game. Now the pass to Anunoby. He kicks it to DeRozan. Over George. Nogueira. It's off. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Thunder out in front, running away with it. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
But man, we got to get down and get engaged at the other end. All right, be precise, send the ball to the screen, come across the screen, focus on the defensive end.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Oklahoma City leading by 22. We've got Jordan. Paul George is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Russell Westbrook. And it's Abrinas in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Kevin, there are nights where it's impossible to stop Paul George. He is such a strong guy who knows how to convert through these plays.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a 2-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
Cans it from downtown.
Russell Westbrook with his head on a swivel. He understands where his guys are at all times.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Stolen by George. Left side, Jordan. Outside, George. It's Jordan on the wing. Rebounded by Valanciunas. And the Raptors shooting 47%, pretty solid. Here's DeRozan. And that one is off. Excellent D there from George. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Abrinas. There's the dish to Jordan. Patterson, the screen, the drive by Jordan. Ibaka with some nice D.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
And George kicks to Jordan. And it's Jordan with the jam.
Well, that's just great work from Paul George to spot the open man. And at his size, he can see right over the defense.
They've been looking out of sorts in the last few possessions.
And this is when you need to be patient. Find a high percentage shot and have some floor balance.
Screened by Ibaka. Here's Anunoby. He's covered by Westbrook. Powell for three. Drops in the tray.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Outside Jordan. Doris, much to the chagrin of basketball purists, we're seeing the near extinction of the mid-range game. Is there a way to reverse this trend?
Kevin, I don't know that we're seeing the extinction of it, and I would point directly to the finals MVP, Kevin Durant, because if you look at some of his success, it is directly in the mid-range. Russell Westbrook has some effect in the mid-range. I mean, listen, certainly the priority is on layup and three, but I don't think we've seen the extinction of the mid-range. I think this is a cyclical type of situation in the NBA, very much the way we've gone away from a low post center. Would a player that's a next level, next generation kind of player change our thinking about that? Let's see. The game is always in a constant state of evolution.
Powell kicks to DeRozan. Shot clock at 5. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
Boy, firing the jumper as soon as he receives the pass, DeRozan doesn't give the defender any time to react.
Dishes to George. Here's Jordan. The shot's good on the assist by George. And that's now 20 points for Jordan.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Well, you want to slow this man's roll right now if you're the defense, because you've got to make somebody else beat you. He's cooking right now.
DeRozan passes to Powell. Bucket is good.
Well, guys, really good court vision, allowing DeRozan to make that pass. You know, he sees the play developing way in advance.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Thunder.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so taking a look at their season record, this will be win number 31 on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Jordan.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Well, with the defense laying off him, you know he's going to pull the trigger. They're lucky he didn't burn him. Well, he just gets ahead of himself.
DeRozan with it. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. and we'll see you next time.
Hey, DJ.
Hey.
Great game out there. Look, Shaq and the guys want to talk to you in the studio.
Really?
So stand, yeah, right this way.
Oh,
Stand
what
here,
up?
and
Okay.
we'll get you set up. Perfect.
It's good.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey again, everybody. Ernie Johnson. I got Shaq here. Got Kenny the Jet here. Standing by on headset near the locker rooms, right down the hall, around the corner. We get a chance to catch up with our post-game guest.
Hey, it's Kenny. You were just lighting it up on the offensive end. Were you looking for your shot out there or just playing within the offense?
Well, I feel like I just happened to be in the right place at the right time in a lot of our offensive sets. Our offense does a good job of creating looks for everyone on the floor, and I was just lucky enough to find open space more often than not, Kenny.
Well, good job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I will.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For the Jet, for the Diesel, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew. The entire 2K Sports crew.
That's everyone.
Ernie Johnson. Have a wonderful evening.